Yo, what's going on, guys? I know I haven't made a video in a long time, but that's nothing out of the normal. But I just kind of wanted to make this to do another kind of update of what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and make videos a lot more often. I might need a couple ideas, but I do have a pretty good amount of ideas already. Not all of you are going to like all of them, but I don't give a fuck, clearly. I made an hour-long video about fantasy football, so yeah. But the main reason I want to make stuff more is because now I have the time. I won't go into exactly why yet, but I'm going to be home alone vast majority of the day and vast majority of the week. For most weeks, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I'll go into that more at a different time. But yeah, in case you didn't catch the 8 times per video that I say this, I only film stuff when I'm home alone, and I'm going to be home alone significantly more now because of things that have happened. So I'm going to have significantly more time to actually do these than I did before, and I'm very happy about that because not only do I like being home alone in general, but I get to do this now more. And in terms of what I'm going to be doing in the short-term future, maybe even tomorrow I might make a video because I've got plenty of time to do whatever the hell I want tomorrow. I'm not necessarily sure exactly, but I do have a few ideas. I've been thinking a lot about cartoons lately, a lot of stuff from when we were kids. In case you don't follow my second account on Instagram, I've been doing a huge cartoon tournament. It's down to the final 16. I'm actually going to start that today, round 3. I didn't post any yesterday because I wanted to start taking breaks in between rounds, but the first 2 rounds are done. It started with 64. Now it's down to 16. So yeah, I'm pretty sure all of you that actually watch these are on that account and have been voting, so keep voting. Watch out for that anywhere between 5 and 5:30 tonight. So I've been doing that. I've been thinking about cartoons a lot in general. I think just because I've been thinking about childhood in general, and this is nowhere near the first time I've said this. I've made at least one full video about this since quarantine started, and I've mentioned it in almost all my other ones since quarantine started, but there's something about this era of being mainly by yourself and not actually going to a school if you're here in California, or you're not actually doing anything that you used to do, and being the age that we are, graduating in that time and moving from being a kid to an adult in that time is, I want to say, incredibly difficult. Granted, we don't know what it would have been like without it, but good Lord, if it's harder than this, there would be a lot more people who just would be deadbeats and not want to be adults. Because if it's harder than this, then I can't imagine what that would be like, because this kind of fucking sucks. Not kinda, this does straight up fucking suck. And there's not a lot of people that would disagree with me on that. And if you are, you're either rich and have the money to do stuff anyway, or you just didn't do that much in the first place, so this isn't that much of a change. But even those people, I know plenty of those people, and even they would say, yeah, this fucking sucks. Because not only are you going from something that most people had a great childhood. Obviously, there are people who didn't, and there are people who didn't like the majority of their time in high school, middle school, elementary school, childhood in general. But for the majority of people, we had a good childhood. You know, whether we didn't have great lives at home, we had great friends at school that we got to talk to. Whether we didn't have a great time in middle school, we had a great time in high school, or we had a great time in elementary school, or vice versa, some combination of that. Everyone has something to look at and be proud of in their childhood. And going away from that is hard enough on its own. Going away from that to going to something that you're supposed to be completely physically, mentally, and emotionally independent, and you're supposed to start supporting yourself. You're supposed to either go to school or get a job, or both. Or, you're supposed to start making money. You're supposed to start learning to make more money. That's a hard transition on its own, because you're leaving something that, and I know people always try to say, like, it's just getting out of your comfort zone, it's going to be good for you. Yeah, it might be good for you, but it's not just getting out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone isn't everything that you know. That's a really strange misconception of that term. Going from childhood to adulthood is not just getting out of your comfort zone, because there were things that we had in our lives when we were kids that we didn't like. Just like everyone had something that they could look up to in their lives, everyone had something that they could look bad to in their lives, look down to, look down at, or just not like in general. Everyone had at least one of those things, likely more. So, but we're leaving those behind too. So not only are we leaving behind all of the things that we love and most of the memories that we made when we were kids, but we're leaving behind even the things that are familiar. Even if it was bad, we knew it. We knew what it was. It was familiar. It had a certain level of comfort because we knew what to expect, right? We've all had bad teachers. We've all had terrible teachers. But walking into that room, there was still a certain level of comfort to it because we knew what to expect. We knew that it was going to be bad, so we could prepare ourselves for that. But this is a different thing because it's not just going out of your comfort zone and doing something that you normally wouldn't. It's doing something where you're leaving most everything behind. And yes, you're still going to talk to your friends. I talk to my friends all the time. I have barely talked to anyone in college, but that's mainly because of COVID. So yeah, I still talk to my old friends. Not old friends, they're still my friends. It's not like I'm leaving anything behind physically or even mentally, but it's different. Let me close these. Those aren't down. Hold on.